sometimes you might feel like you're in this boat and the waves are crashing on the sides and you're thinking, where is God? And it is the middle of the night. And some scriptures, to go on to explain this, say they were rowing and rowing. They had the sails up. But that boat wasn't going anywhere. It was stuck out in the middle of the lake. It was making no headway. And don't we feel like that sometimes? Like we are pushing and pushing and pushing and we're making no headway and we're doing exactly what God told us to do. So what is God? What is the deal? Pastor Ray?
I just want to add to that would just come to me that most of the times before you receive a breakthrough that you've been waiting or praying on for a long time, it usually comes right before the darkest times. When it's the worst times in your life, the breakthrough comes.
Right.
A lot of times. I just want to add that in there.
Verse 23 reads, during the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went out to them walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and cried out in fear. Sometimes when we're in the middle of our trials, Jesus is coming towards us to comfort us or to be with us, and we're afraid because we don't recognize it as him. They feared this was a ghost. Sometimes the opportunity that's opening for you looks like, I don't want to walk through that door. That scares me. But in reality, Jesus is on the other side of it, calling you. But Jesus immediately said to them, take courage, it is I, do not be afraid. Lord, it is you, Peter replied. Tell me to come on the water. Now that took a lot of faith. All right, Jesus, if that's really you, you tell me come out on that water. What's Jesus say? Come. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. I'm just picturing this here, and often I've seen like pictures of it, and I've seen artists do these renditions. They're in a small boat. He came down out of the boat. This is a pretty big boat. He's coming down out of a high place of safety. And this isn't smooth water that they're out walking on. This is waves. Okay? So Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, Lord, save me! Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. You of little faith, he said, why did you doubt? And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, truly, you are the Son of God. Peter started to sink because he took his eyes off of Jesus. As long as he was focused on him, he walked on the water. When he started focusing on his problems and his troubles, the wind, the waves, the circumstances, he began to sink. That happens to us. That's what Satan is trying to get you to do. He's trying to get you to lose your focus. And finally, I just want to end here with, we think of Peter's great faith, and that's wonderful, but there was 11 other people sitting in that boat. Why didn't they all get out and walk on the water? Think about it. Many Christians do not receive the great blessing that God has planned for them because they're afraid to get out of the boat. God says, come, and they're afraid. They want what God has for them here, but they won't let go of what's here. Most of the time, when God is giving you a blessing, especially if it's a really big blessing, He's going to ask you to let go of something, let go of the security, this is what I know, to be able to grab hold of what's out there. And there's a time, you can't hold on to them both. You have to have this time period It may be seconds, it may be years, where you've let go of this and you've not quite held on to this. But you can't hold on to both.
Yeah, you can, or you can stay right where you're at.
You'll stay right where you're at.
That's
You can't
right.
hold on to both. You'll never grasp this
A lot
until
of-
you let go of this.
And a lot of people do exactly that.
Exactly that. And that's why they claim that they can't receive the promises that are in this book. It's not for me.
Or, I'm not getting blessed. Why I'm not getting blessed? Because you're not doing the things God's calling you to do.
Amen.
Or what the book's calling you to
What
do.
the book's calling you to do.
Yeah.
So I hope this message was helpful for you today.
Yeah.
It really touched me when I wrote it because I'm waiting on God. Oftentimes I'll give a message that really God's dealing with me on. And when I'm looking to find a way, well, God, how do I do this? Then oftentimes I'll bring it to you all to say, okay, this is what He's shown me in His Word that we need to do. So I hope you guys will take this to heart and to really maybe take some time to meditate on these scriptures during the week and see if there's an area that you might need some help in while you're waiting. And there's something that I will guarantee you here. If you do all of these 12 steps, your blessing is going to come a whole lot faster. And it's going to be a lot more profitable than what you ever dreamed. It's going to be more, what does the scripture say? The things I have planned for you are more than you could ever ask or dream. I can dream pretty big. I have dreamed pretty big. But I have a big God. And He's prepared to give me more than I'm dreaming for. The question is, am I willing to do what it takes to grow up and receive it? That's the question.
And something else to add to that, those things that you're talking about are already made and waiting.
Already waiting.
All you got to do is learn how to lay hands on them.
Already prepared.
Already there. Amen.
So I thank you for joining us today. Pastor Ray's going to come up and give closing prayer. So we'll wait for him to come forward.
Well, we're